What is your name?
Jim Brown.
And when did you serve?
April of 67 to April 69.
Yeah.
In Vietnam, April 68 to April 69.
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
I was drafted out of college.
And what branch were you in?
I was drafted in the Army.
What was your military position?
Infantry,
Which division were you in?
25th Division.
What part of Vietnam did you serve in?
Flew into Tan Son Nhut. I was actually in Cu Chi, where's my main base camp, where we worked out of.
What were some of your most memorable moments during Vietnam? I understand you have a Purple Heart.
Have a Purple Heart and a couple of Bronze Stars. A lot of obviously good and bad memorables, but gosh, to pick one out, that's hard to say. Defeating the enemy as much as possible is probably the best memory. Our outfit was designed to come in and help people that were caught in ambushes and different things of this nature, and we would fly in and try to separate them from the maybe the crossfire from the enemy, and pull them out to safety, or open an area where they could get out. So we were in combat as close as I can remember, in some kind of a fire which lasted sometimes 5-10 minutes to up to 2 or 3 days. At least probably 300 days out of the year that I was there. So we were always in some kind of a conflict, but it was a pleasure to do it, because we were saving lives by helping them out. So.
What was the story when you earned your Purple Heart?
Sniper fired, hit my rifle barrel, and went into my arm. So I was, thank God for the rifle.
Did it stay in your arm or did it go pass through?
It hit, and because it ricocheted off, it flattened it out, but it penetrated and left a hole, but it did not. It came out very easily. So thank goodness. But
Were you? How long did it take you to get back to like a medical place? Were you in the?
We were out there actually because of what it was. Most of it was done by the medic at that time there, so it was not a serious wound, but to where I had to be evacuated or leave or something of that nature. So.
What were the stories for your Bronze Stars you earned?
Just different conflicts. Would be times where somebody was wounded and you have to get somebody out, or move them to a safe place. The write-ups and so we were always bigger than what it really was. But it was a lot of just of doing what we were trained to do, and spur of the moment of something came up to where something actually was needed possibly, and you just went and did it. You didn't think about it. So.
What did you think of the M16?
Fantastic weapon. I loved it. It saved my body a lot of times from the enemy's fire, and the fact that it was very smooth and operable, where the AK-47, most people know it, it had a jump to it, and it allowed you to be more accurate, where they, I think on their end was a little more difficult. So,
Did you ever have one jam on you?
did not. Had one that I wouldn't call it jam and misfire, but it was probably my own fault. We were crossing some water, and it got in there, got some mud in there, and that was basically it. But overall, it was a great weapon overall.
Did you have to have different strategies to keep it clean, to keep it operating?
No, I think if you just the biggest thing I think was putting the ammo in the clips to make sure that it was clean and so forth. That's where it would jam up. The rifle itself cleaned up very easily, and I had no problem with it.
When you're out on the field, how much weight would you carry around with you?
I was a staff sergeant, so I was a platoon leader the majority of the time, with estimated about 40 men under me, so I carried that. Once in a while I would carry a round or a sleeve of bullets for our machine guns, but most of the time I was just carrying 8 to 10 clips myself, and once in a while a pistol, but not very often, usually just that. And always had 2 to 4 grenades with you, because those come in handy at times.
How long would the 8 to 10 last you if you got in a pretty fierce firefight?
If you had an automatic, not very long, because it's one clip of 19, 20 rounds would take about 1.5 seconds to go through. But so you try to put it on semi-automatic, so we made it last longer. Normally, if we were going to be in some kind of a firefight for any period of time, they were pretty good about dropping ammo to us, so where we could get supplied pretty easily. So
So a helicopter would drop it?
some type of a helicopter, yeah, right.
What'd you think of the Huey?
Loved it. Loved to see it coming to pick us up, and loved that it moved as quickly and so forth. But it when it was coming in to take us someplace, we knew we were in for a fight of some sort. But it was a good, it was an excellent piece of machinery, and the gunners that were on the ships that helped clear the landing area and so forth like that were far deserving of what they did. But it was a good vehicle.
Was it pretty intense when you would be ready to leave the field of battle with enemy fire at the helicopter?
There's time. Obviously, he would take rounds coming in at you when you were trying to come in. Most of the time when we left, we had done our job and had cleared the enemy out, so it was pretty safe in the extraction. But once in a while, it was there. But when you were coming in and they announced that it was a hot LZ, it could get pretty tense. They normally didn't land more than about 3 or 4 feet above ground, and you would extract out. So, but,
any other stories you'd like to add?
Probably one of my favorite stories was just talking to some of the guys out here at the Honor Flight reunion, and we got discovered a bunker, probably 20 by 25, and probably 6 to 8 feet deep, and we threw grenades inside, and then 3 or 4 of us went down into the about 6 or 7 steps down into the bunker to see what might be in there or not in there. Of course, there was nothing in there, but when we started to extract out, a sniper was nearby, and he started firing at us, and it would hit the walls of the steps going up. And so consequently, at that time, when the fire opened up, the rest of my squad had come in there. So there was about 8 of us down in the bunker. Every time we would stick our head up to try to get back out, he would fire, and you could hear it zipping into the wall beside us. So we decided to go to the opposite side of him, and I took one of the entrenching tools, and we dug holes for a window out the backside and pushed everybody out. And I was the last one. And of course, at 8 feet high, I'm 5'9", and no way to get out. So every time I tried to sneak up the stairway, the sniper would fire at us. So I got both of my M60 machine gunners on either side of the bunker, and I told them to start, when I gave the word, to fire up into the trees and try, since we didn't know where he was at. And I was going to come out the bunker and over the top, and for them to keep shooting straight, because I didn't want them to hit me. I was going to come up over the top and down between the two of them, the two guns. And one shot fired when I started up, and they were firing up in the trees. It must have been close enough that he stopped firing to take cover behind a branch or whatever it may be, and I got up and over the bunker and down to the other side, and then we extracted out. So
wow, pretty intense.
At times it got to be that. But
when you'd run into a sniper, did you have any strategies to get them?
no, you just we didn't run into a lot of snipers. Most of that was there's probably only 2 or 3 times at that end, but most of the time it was just Viet Cong that had dug themselves in somewhere, and we got into a firefight. So this is the one sniper you'd fire. If you did, you'd fire up into the trees trying to spot them and so forth, and hopefully with a lot of fire coming up there, something happened, but you didn't really ever know. If you killed him, we wouldn't know that. He would still be up in the tree or whatever. So, but
Well, Jim, thank you very much for your service.
okay, thank you for the interview.